Have you guys heard about the nurse who was awarded £41,000 because she was excluded from a tea round? Yes, just tea, common tea. Yes, his case started way back in 2018, and this year everything was finalized. So today we are going to delve into this unique tribunal case and everything that led on to this decision to be made. If you want to know more, stay with me. Hey lovely, welcome to my channel. Today we are doing something quite different from what we normally do. Today is story time. So there is this nurse called Susan Hamilton. She's a diabetes specialist nurse in one of the hospitals in London, which is St Helier Hospital. So apparently in the year 2018, she had a little bit of standing with one of her colleagues who was a dietitian, and this man is called Mr. Naik, if I got the name right. So apparently she questioned his competency regarding a patient's case, just like maybe you correcting someone and say, oh, do it this way. So from there, their relationship just went tumbling down. So Susan realized that this man has been ignoring her greetings. He doesn't want anything to do with her, and if they're in a meeting with other colleagues and she's bringing up a discussion or she's presenting on something, this man will just stand to one side to say, I'm not ready to listen to whatever you have to say. So the environment became really uncomfortable for Susan, and I can understand because I've experienced one of those things in a different way before. So because living in an environment where you know that this person doesn't like me, it's a lot to deal with. And she also realized that he was not only dismissive, he also excluded her during tea round. So apparently this dietitian makes tea for everyone in the morning. It's just his way of starting the day. So he started excluding her, making tea for everyone but her. She couldn't take it anymore. And I know this might sound a bit ridiculous to some people, but Brits do not take their tea lightly. Their tea is something else. So she reported to management that she is very uncomfortable and this is what has been going on and blah blah blah. So they had a meeting and they spoke to both of them to try and resolve this case. But you know what happened? Mr. Naik decided to stop serving tea altogether. So that is to say, if I'll serve you tea, I better don't prepare tea for anybody. And during the discussion, the man actually told Susan to her face that I don't like you. So when all this thing was happening, she couldn't take it anymore. So she went on leave, hoping to, calm down and get back to work. But despite investigation and everything, the issue was not resolved to the satisfaction of Susan. So she decided to resign in January 2022. For someone to resign from her occupation or from her job as a nurse, then you should know that this thing has really affected her mental health. But the story doesn't end there. After her resignation, she decided to go the legal way. She cited a breach of contract and a breakdown of trust and confidence in her employer. So this became a court case. They went to the London Tribunal court and they decided to solve this. So then, according to the ongoing judgment of the Tribunal court, they concluded that the hospital failed to properly address the issue between these two, and it was the hospital's responsibility to ensure that the workplace is a safe place for both patients and workers as well. That is to say, the environment should be inclusive. So they said the hospital failed to do this, and this resulted in Susan resigning from her post. So the whole thing came to a conclusion in February 2025, which is this year. They had the final judgment and everything was settled, and they awarded Susan Hamilton £41,000. That is a lot of money on a serious note. And I think this is just to say that workplace bullying should not be tolerated. And someone might say being left out in a tea round is nothing or is just a trivial issue. But don't forget that small actions like this compound into bigger problems, which can significantly affect someone's work life and mental health. Passive aggressive behaviors, just like Mr. Naik demonstrated, can contribute to workplace bullying, making the place unsafe for your colleagues. And secondly, minor actions such as excluding people from chit chats, tea rounds, workplace outings, and stuff like that can also create a hostile environment and have a toll on that individual's mental health. Because if you are not fine mentally, how can you then be in the right mood to care for your patients? At the end of the day, the patient is the one going to suffer because you can't even concentrate to give proper care to your patients. And this case is a clear example of speaking up. I know every organization has this thing about speaking up, freedom to speak and stuff like that, and people don't tend to use it because we are all scared that I don't want to go with my face if something happens, and they'll be like, I'm the one who came to report and blah blah blah. But this case have just enlightened us about standing up or speaking up for yourself, and it makes you know your worth actually. So the tribunal decision to give the nurse this amount of money is to say that employers have the legal right to make sure that no one is maltreated at work. So if you feel like you are being maltreated at work, you should make a formal complaint to your manager. If it doesn't work, you go higher to your matron, and in that order, because you are not being paid to come to work to feel threatened. So let's all speak up for ourselves. So from this story, what we always need to remember is sometimes it's the little things like a cup of tea that matters the most. Until my next video, stay awesome. Bye.